Hey, we're back at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium for another North Dakota Class B boys basketball contest. Tonight's contest, the matchup is between the Lisbon Broncos and the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. The Lisbon Broncos coming off a win last night against the Enderlin Eagles by a score of 52-42, with Jaden Bittner leading the way for the Broncos, putting in 29 points, going 11-11 from the free throw line. LaMoure Lobos come into this contest with a record of 0-1. They lost to Sargent County in their opening game of the season, 47-62 in that game that was played earlier about 10 days ago for District 3, Region 3 Class B basketball. So Lisbon, after this game, they'll have a layoff through the holidays till the 29th of December, where they'll take on Central Cass, and then on the 3rd of January, come after the holidays, the Christmas break, and they'll play Sargent County. Sargent County right now is on a roll, currently 2-0, and they do have a game tonight over in Gwinner, and looking for the Sargent County Bulldogs to go in 3-0. Lisbon Broncos right now in the region are 1-0. Some of the other teams picking up wins in Region 1 are Central Cass, currently overall at 1-0. Enderlin right now is at a 1-1 record. So they're 0-1 in the region. Hankinson is 1-0 overall. Right now 0-0 in the region. Then teams yet to have a game for Region 1 are Maple River, Richland, Windmere, Maple River, Richland High School, and Windmere Lidgerwood have yet to play a game. Their first game is tonight. And then Kindred High School suffered a loss to Hillsborough Central Valley. They're 0-1 overall. They lost to Hillsborough Central Valley in their opening game 71-77. That knocked them out of the top 10 as far as the Class B boys basketball poll. Newest boys basketball poll released on December 19th has 4 wins Minnewacan, currently in the top spot, the defending state champs out of Region 4. At number 2 is Central Cass, currently at 1-0, also from Region 1. Bishop Ryan at 1-0 in the 3 spot from Region 6. Thompson 1-0 in the 4 spot at Region 2. Number 5 is Bismarck Shiloh Christian out of Region 5. Number 6 is Bowman County out of Region 7. Grafton at number 7 moved up a spot from their previous week. They're currently sitting in the 7th spot out of Region 2. Then North Border out of Region 2 moved up to 9 and moved up to 8. Then at number 9 is Deslax Burlington, moving into the polls, knocking out Kindred as North Star. Other schools receiving votes or other teams receiving votes are Hillsborough Central Valley, St. John's at 2-0, Sargent County picking up votes for the top 10 at 2-0, Dickinson Trinity, Kindred, and then Lytton HMB sitting at 2-0, also receiving votes in the latest Class B boys basketball poll. So the state Class B tournament for boys basketball is the 16 to 18 March. To talk about the region tournament for boys basketball is the 28 Feb to 8 March at the North Dakota State College of Science, and then state Class B is 16 to 18 March at Bismarck. Already talked about your 2022 state champions, defending state champions, 4 wins Minnewacan. Picked up their win 69 to 49. That win was 69 to 49. Earlier in the season in their opening, that was in the state championship game against Kindred, 69 to 49 last year in that state championship contest, sealing the win from them in their second state championship overall for 4 wins in Minnewacan. And looking at the LaMoure Lobos, as far as their schedule for the rest of the year, up until the first of the year. They play Bowman County on the 27th of December, and then on 31 December they come back for another contest against Central Cass, and then they're at the Barnes County tournament from the 3rd to the 6th of January. So we'll go ahead and slip away for a quick break from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and go over the starting lineups for the Lisbon Broncos and the LaMoure Lobos.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
The friendly staff at LaMoure Drugstore reminds you to stop by and find gifts for your loved ones during this holiday season, from giftware for men or women, and check out their toy selection for the kids. LaMoure Drugstore delivers any day of the week upon request and will answer any general health questions you have, from school supplies, greeting cards, prescription requests, and a reminder you can get the flu shot as well at LaMoure Drugstore, located in the center of LaMoure in the Bank North Mall. For more information, go to LaMoureDrugstore.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
Hey, welcome back. We're back at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. And looking at our starting lineups for tonight for Lisbon Broncos. Starting at guard is 5'10" junior, number 2, Jaden Bittner. Bittner coming off a big game last night against the Enderlin Eagles, putting down 29 points, going 11-11 from the free throw line. Coming in at another guard is 6' sophomore, number 3, Lincoln Adair. Starting at forward, 6'4" senior, number 24, Wyatt Webb. Another forward, 6'2" junior, number 34, Sam Kelson. And then the big guy in the center, 6'7" junior, number 30, Ethan Gilbert. Broncos are coached by Kim Mark and assisted by Brett Bittner and Justin Ranke. And for LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos, starting at guard is 5'8" senior, number 2, Taint Mart. Another guard, 6'1" senior, number 3, Connor Johnson. Another guard, 6'4" junior, number 5, Max Muslin. Starting at forward, 6'1" senior, number 23, Colton S. Another forward, 6'2" senior, number 25, Anthony Hansen. The Lobos are coached by Tyler Theologis and assisted by Luke Isaacson and Rod Kramer. Like I said, Lisbon comes into this game off that win last night against Enderlin, 52-42, and Region 1 contest puts them at 1-0. They suffered their first loss of the season against Barnes County about 10 days ago or earlier in the season, 66-67, and nail-a-biter up in Barnes County. LaMoure enters this contest 0-1 out of Region 3. They dropped a game against Sargent County, 47-62. That game played earlier in the season, the first game of the season for the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. So we're about 2 minutes away from doing our opening lineups announced and then our national anthem. So we'll go ahead and break away for another 30-second timeout.
The college has better equipment than the shop I'm at now. Like, you name it, they got it. You get to use your tools and your hands a lot more. My name is Sean, and I'm here for my future.
First week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like, every time I go to a meeting, like, everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
Riverside Building Center in Lisbon, North Dakota is Southeastern North Dakota's premier building supply headquarters. They have it all from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell and have over 110 combined years of experience. With their large inventory to sell from and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon.
All right, back here at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. I am sports announcer guy Brent Dick. Your call tonight at the Class B boys basketball game, the Lisbon Broncos versus the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. The Broncos enter this game tonight with the record of 1-1, coming off their win last night in the GOAT game, the annual GOAT game against the Enderlin Eagles, winning by a score of 52-42 on the boys' side. LaMoure Litchville-Marion comes in 0-1 overall out of Region 3, dropping their first game of the season to Sargent County by a score of 47-62. They're going through the opening lineups for the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. Let's go over those once again. We got guard, 5'8" senior, number 2, Tate Mart. Another guard, 6'1" senior, number 3, Connor Johnson. Another guard, 6'4" junior, number 5, Max Muslin. Another forward, 6'1" senior, number 23, Colton S. Starting at forward, 6'2" senior, number 25, Anthony Hansen. And Lobos are coached by Tyler Theologis. Lisbon Broncos starting 5 is guard, 5'10" junior, number 2, Jaden Bittner. Another guard, 6' sophomore, number 3, Lincoln Adair. Another forward, 6'4" senior, number 24, Wyatt Webb. Another forward, 6'2" junior, number 34, Sam Kelson. Another center, 6'7" junior, number 30, Ethan Gilbert. All right, now Sargent County sits at top of the end of the region standings with their 2-0 overall record, along with Central Cass going 1-0 overall. Enderlin High School 1-1, Hankinson 1-0. Teams yet to play a game. We have Maple River, Richland High School, and Weimar Lidger, but all 3 of those teams are in action tonight, looking to put that first W on the board. Then also Kindred High School going 0-1, lost to Hillsborough Central Valley 71-77 in their opening game. Northern Cass is 0-1 overall with the loss to North Border 47-64. Oak Grove High School took on the defending state champions in Four Winds Minnewacan opening their game. They lost 54-70 to Four Winds, currently 0-1 overall. Lisbon High School sits at 1-1 with that opening loss to Barnes County 66-67, and then won last night 62-52 over the Enderlin Eagles. And then Tri-State sits currently overall at 0-1. They're moments away here from their opening tip-off between the LaMoure Lobos and Lisbon Broncos. It's like Wyatt Webb out there for the Broncos, going up against Max Muslin. So Lobos get the ball. Muslin tips it over to Tate Mart. Over to Muslin. Now back to Mart. Back to Mart. That's stolen by Adair. Adair's going to pick it down, puts it on the floor. Looks like he got away with the travel there. He had an extra step before he got that ball on the floor. To Bittner. Bittner was 5 for 3 from the. Had 5 3-pointers last night. He's 0 for 1 on the night so far. A little obstacle on the court there. Young person running along the side of the out of bounds line, so we had a little stop in action. That passes over to Mart. Now Mart gets it back out to Johnson. Johnson over to Muslin. Muslin back to Mart. The Broncos playing tough inside. Goes to the inside. That's stolen by the Broncos. Tipped away. Just stifling the inside play there with Gilbert and Kelson. Broncos able to get a hand on that, steal it away. Bittner brings it down, looking for a little space. Gets some help from Kelson. And Kelson swings it out to Adair, now back to Bittner. Bittner swings it to Webb. Now Webb gets it to Gilbert. He's fouled underneath. Gilbert put a little backside, and it looks like he picked up a foul. So Colton S. picks up his first personal foul on Colton S. It's the first team foul on LaMoure Lobos at 6:39 in the first quarter. Adair gets it out to Gilbert. Gilbert, 6'7" junior. Over to Adair for 3. That's good for 3 for Lincoln Adair. First 3 points on the board. LaMoure Lobos denied on that offensive possession. Now back to the Broncos. And Derry gets it to Webb. Webb underneath. That's blocked by Ness. Now to Gilbert. Gilbert from 2, just inside the 3-point line. Gilbert, short jumper, puts it up and in for Gilbert. That to Ness. Ness to the inside, coming down with the rebound. Looks like Gilbert had it, falls to the ground. And Mark kicked that out to Muslin. Gilbert with the rebound. And knocked out of bounds by the Lobos. Lisbon's height on the inside right now, a little bit of a factor for the LaMoure Lobos, having to deal with that. Spencer Kelson and Ethan Gilbert on the inside. And Gilbert's able to split that defense. He's going to drive in, gets it over to, tried to bounce pass it through a couple defenders from the Lobos. Didn't get her through there. Now Ness has it, bringing it down court. LaMoure Lobos state runner-ups in Class 9B football this season. State champs last year, a year ago. That rebounds by Wyatt Webb. A lot of that athleticism on the football field transfers over to the winter sports, whether it's basketball or wrestling. That's over to Adair. Adair from 3. High arc on that, comes down, bounces out. Lobos with the rebound. And Mart gets it over to Johnson. Now back to Mart, then to Muslin. He's swinging around the top of the key. Now clears the court. Trying to get it inside to Ness. That shot was up and no good. Rebound. That goes to Hansen. Back out to Tate Mart. Tate Mart drives in, puts it high up off the backboard. Rebound Lobos. Their third chance. The Broncos not coming down with the rebounds. So Ness drives in. He's going to pick up a foul. So it will be a shooting foul. First personal. So first personal foul on Ethan Gilbert. The first free throw attempt is no good for Colton Ness. The second free throw, no good. Bounces off the front of the rim to the backboard. Broncos with the rebound. Swung out to Kelson. Kelson gets it to Adair. Broncos still not able to cross the half-court line, tied up by the Lobos. So it is jump ball. Possession there goes over to the Broncos. So a little conference there by the referees on the court. Not sure what they're talking about. The clock stop at 3:43 to go in this first quarter. Lisbon's up by a score of 5-0. Yeah, three-pointer by Adair to open it up for the Broncos, and Gilbert underneath puts in 2 for Lisbon's 5 points. Well, there's a sub in the game for the Lobos. It's looked like number 13, Blaze Isaacson, number 13, Blaze Isaacson's in. That shot's up, no good. Rebound by the Broncos. Kelson underneath, able to pull it down. Looks like we do have a foul, a pushing foul. That one's number 5, Max Muslin. So second team foul on the Lobos. First personal for Max Muslin. Bittner has it, finds Adair. Webb open and momentarily underneath. Bittner swings it out. The far side from the three-point line. That one's off the front of the rim. And Bittner not finding the range right now in this opening quarter. Goes over to Ness. Ness drives in, tries to put it up over Gilbert. Gilbert gets a hand on it, but he fouled. So Ness will go to the line for 2. Right now Ness is 0-2. 0-2 from the free throw line. So second personal on Gilbert. That shot is up and good. Second shot away, that one's good. So Ness now 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Or excuse me, 2 for 4. The Easton Bergerman coming in for the Broncos. Gilbert sits down. The Broncos still having a tough time getting it past this press of the Lobos. No, Bittner gets it, brings it across. He swings it to Kelson's going to drive in, puts it up. He gets fouled. So Kelson drove in through the lane. Hansen picks up the foul for the Lobos. So third team foul on the Lobos. First personal for Anthony Hansen. This Kelson shoots 2. First one's up and good for Kelson. The first free throws for the Broncos in this game. 2:31 in the first quarter. Second shot's up and also good for Kelson. 2 for 2 from the line for Spencer, or for Kelson. That shot is up and good for Tate Mart. Tate Mart pulls it up, one-hands it. So 2 points there for Tate Mart. That over to Adair, now to Webb. Webb fakes it left and goes right, puts it up, no good off the glass. Bergerman with the rebound, gets it out to Bittner. Bittner thinks about it from the three-point line, gets it to Webb, swings it out to Bergerman from 3 for Bergerman. That's up and good for Bergerman. Well, Bergerman comes off the bench, sinks his first three-pointer. Broncos up 10-4. Minute 28 to go in the first quarter. That's down to Ness. Tate Mart currently has 2 points in the game, over to Johnson. A turnover by the Lobos. Bittner gets that to Bergerman. Bergerman steps across the line, goes over to Adair. Adair back to Kelson. Kelson finds Bittner. Webb driving in, working against Ness. Fakes left, goes right, puts it up just off the mark. And Webb gets his own rebound, puts it up and in for Wyatt Webb. A good hustle by Wyatt Webb. Fake left, went right, off the backboard, got his own rebound. Left-handed layup, scores. That's a 3-point for Muslin. The final 25 seconds of the first quarter, Bittner, I think he's working against Mart. Gets by Mart, puts it up for 2, not finding the range yet in the first quarter is Jaden Bittner, coming off a 29 performance last night against the Inderland Eagles. So far, Bittner, the only one, the Broncos starter, not to have scored yet in the first quarter. Down to 3 seconds. That's put up by Muslin. That's off. Rebound by Bittner. That's the end of the first quarter. Lisbon holds this lead by a score of 12-7 on our Bank North scoreboard. We'll go ahead and step away for another 30-second timeout. Come back for your second quarter.
Free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters is a group of parents, coaches, and community members whose mission is to enrich the Lisbon High School athletic community by providing financial support for Lisbon High School athletic programs and events. If you are interested in getting involved, they invite you to join the Bronco Athletic Booster Group on Facebook to learn more. The Lisbon Athletic Boosters send a good luck wish to all athletes competing today.
We're back at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. The Broncos hold a 5-point lead over the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos by a score of 12-7. The Broncos have 2 3-pointers in the game from Lincoln Adair, another one from Easton Bergman. So Darren Bergman dropping threes for the Broncos. Lobos have a 1 3-pointer from Max Muslin. Number 5, Max Muslin, also stepping behind the line and sinking a 3-pointer for the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. Also in the scoring bracket is Wyatt Webb and Ethan Gilbert, along with Sam Kelson for the Broncos. Kelson going 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And Jordan Bittner now in for the Broncos. It's like Jaden is out, so brother Jordan comes in. Bergman's still out for the Broncos. Bergman from 3 gets it up just off the back side of the rim. Just off the mark for Easton Bergman. And Tate Mart brings it down. And Mart looking for an open, gets it over to Muslin. Muslin thinks about it. And Bittner giving a little bit of space to Mart. It goes to Ness. Ness looking for Hansen. Now kicks it back out to Johnson. No good. A rebound by the Broncos. Kelson comes down with it. That's Sam Kelson from the 3-point line. No good for Kelson. And Mart brings it down, drives through the lane, puts it up. That's blocked by Webb. So Webb gets it now to Bittner. Bittner maintains control of it. Jordan Bittner for the Bronco gets it over to Easton Bergman, over to Lincoln Adair. In the second quarter of play, Lisbon's up by a score of 12-7. Yeah, that's from Bittner from the free throw line. That's no good. Broncos get the rebound over to Adair from 3 for Adair. That's off the front of the back, or front of the rim. Hits the top of the backboard, goes out of bounds. So Bittner back in the game. Bittner and Gilbert back in the game for the Broncos. Bergman, Jordan Bittner go to the bench. Bergman picking up a 3-point basket for the Broncos in the first quarter. That ball over to Mart. Muslin, long pass, cross court over to Mart. And that's at the free throw line. Dare gets a hand on it. It's fast break going for Jaden Bittner. Lays it up and in for Bittner. Bittner with his first 2 points of the game. That's out to Mart. And Johnson back to Mart. Now over to Muslin, playing at the top. Now to Ness. Hansen working on the inside. Ness has it. Kicks it out to Mart from the 3-point line. That's up off the front of the rim. No good. Ness gets the rebound, but that's stripped away by Kelson underneath. So Sam Kelson gets the steal from Ness after he came down with the rebound. It's over to Kelson. Now to Adair. Swings it out to Webb. All Lisbon starters tonight on the scoring box for the Broncos. That's Bittner from the top of the key, just in front of the 3-point line. That's no good. Bounced off the front of the rim for the Broncos. Lobos bring it down. It's over to Mart. Johnson looking for Hansen, gives it to Ness. Ness scoops it back up. Tries to hit the reverse layup underneath. He's going to be fouled underneath. So that goes against, it's an offensive foul, goes against Anthony Hansen. So that's their 4th team foul. Second personal foul on Anthony Hansen, big number 25. It's down to Bittner. And Bittner defended by Isaacson. Isaacson gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. Inbound by Kelson, looking for an open Bronco. He's got Adair. Adair swings it out to Bittner. Bittner's going to step up and shoot from the 3-point line just off the front. Bittner shots just coming up short. Swings it out to Dare. Dare thinks about it, steps it up, gets it to Bittner. Bittner's going to drive in. It's a jumper. That's blocked by Musland. Musland with the block shot on Bittner. Brings it down the court himself. He steps up from the three-point line. He shoots, no good. It's back to Mart. Mart's going to fake, goes to Ness underneath. Excuse me. That's number 20 for the LaMoure Lobos, so that's Karlgaard. So Webb for the Broncos picks up the foul. It's his first personal foul. 13th foul on the Broncos. Karlgaard goes for the line for 2 shots. Yeah, that shot is up and good for Karlgaard. Karlgaard's second shot is up, rolls around and goes in for Karlgaard. 2 for 2 from the line for Karlgaard. And now LaMoure Lobos are 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Lisbon's going 2 for 2. Yeah, we'll go ahead and step away, transition here with this timeout.
And the best way to teach your kids about taxes is by eating 30% of their ice cream. And the best way to learn about your tax situation is contacting Olson Accounting. They'll answer any question you have from an individual or business point of view. Let Olson Accounting set up your tax plan and eliminate any problems by visiting colsoncpa.com or call 701-683-2700. Olson Accounting of Lisbon.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
And we're back at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. An opening possession. LaMoure turns over the Broncos. Moore pushes it down court. And Kelson's able to strip it away, and now Bronco ball. We have 3:47 to go in the second quarter. That's Bittner to Kelson. Kelson gets it to Gilbert. Gilbert looks. Bittner thinks from the three-point, pulls up for a jumper. That's just off the front of the rim. Score is 14-9 in favor of the Lisbon Broncos. Here in the second quarter, with 3:25 to go in the second quarter. That's over to Mart. And Mart gets it to Ness. And Karlgaard's still in there, along with Isaacson for the LaMoure Lobos. The Broncos back to their starting lineup. That's over to Ness. Ness gives it to Muslin. Now Muslin over to Karlgaard from the three-point line. That's off, no good. Rebound by Ness. Ness is fouled, puts up the shot, so that's the third on Gilbert. So that's Gilbert's third personal foul of the game. 2:57 to go in the second quarter. Ness currently 2 of 4 from the free throw line. And Ness puts it up and in for the first free throw. His second shot is no good for Colton Ness. 3 points coming tonight by way of free throw for Ness. The Broncos trying to break this pressure by the Lobos. Kelson finds Webb. Webb looking for Gilbert. And gets it out to Kelson. Now back over to Bittner. To Dare. Dare thinks about it. Swings it over to Kelson. You got 10 seconds on the shot clock. That's broken up by the Lobos. Mark got a hand on it, steals it, swings it out to Muslin. Muslin from 3. That's off, no good. Rebound by the Broncos. Gilbert comes down with it, looking to clear it out. Hands off to Kelson, hands off to Bittner. Bittner's going to drive down. They're working to the inside against Gilbert, so we got a foul. We got a pushing foul. So Ness called for push underneath the basket into the back of Gilbert. So that's his second personal foul. Gilbert's going to come sit down. So Easton Bergman back in for Lisbon. Gilbert takes a seat. We got a travel on Webb. Webb drug his foot across before he got rid of the ball. It's a turnover by the Broncos. They're up by a score of 14-10. That's over to Mart. Mart gets it over to Muslin. It's over to Isaacson. That's off, no good. That was Karlgaard. That's no good. Rebound by the Broncos. Broncos gets it over to Kelson. Now over to Bergman. Bergman for Adair in the corner. Puts it up. That's good for three for Lincoln Adair. 2 3-pointers for Adair tonight. That's stolen away. Good defense by the Broncos. They're broken up. Now it's inside bounce pass over to Adair. Adair saved it from going out of bounds. Tried to get it to Bergman. Bergman couldn't handle it. Turnover by the Broncos. 1:17 to go in the second quarter. Lisbon has 7-point lead. Leads 17-10. LaMoure with 5 team fouls in the first half. Lisbon with 4. That's Tate Mart over to Karlgaard. Hansen back in the game. That's Muslin pulls up for a jumper and shoots. That's off, no good. Has Adair underneath the basket. Adair puts it up and in. 2 points for Adair. The Kents are spotted Adair downfield, almost underneath the basket. Long pass, gets it to him, puts it up and in for Lincoln Adair for 2 points. He now has 8 points in the game. The leading scorer for the Broncos and leading scorer of the game so far is Lincoln Adair. Pass inside to Hansen. Hansen's going to scoop it up. Puts it up off his fingertips. No good. Rebound by the Broncos. Easton Bergman comes down with it. The Broncos increase that lead to 9 now. Down to 19 seconds. Broncos working for last possession of the half. That's to Bittner. Bittner's going to drive in. Hansen out on defense. Swats at it. Gets it over to Kelson. Now to Bittner. Down to 5 seconds. It swung out to Bergman to Adair. Adair's going to drive in, puts it up off the fingertips, rolls over, no good. The Broncos with the last shot. Adair drives in, bounces in and out, no good. Lisbon leads going into the half by score 19-10. We'll go ahead and break away for another minute and a half timeout.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Gwinner, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
The friendly staff at LaMoure Drugstore reminds you to stop by and find gifts for your loved ones during this holiday season, from giftware for men or women, and check out their toy selection for the kids. LaMoure Drugstore delivers any day of the week upon request and will answer any general health questions you have, from school supplies, greeting cards, prescription requests, and a reminder you can get the flu shot as well at LaMoure Drugstore, located in the center of LaMoure in the Bank North Mall. For more information, go to LaMoureDrugstore.com. LaMoure Hardware carries your everyday items for plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Check out their latest selection of snow and grain shovels alongside Milwaukee tools. Plus, stop by LaMoure Hardware today and browse their sweet pickin' section. You'll see brand new furniture and decor. LaMoure Hardware is your community one-stop shop. For more information on all the services LaMoure Hardware offers, go online to LaMoureHardware.com. That's LaMoureHardware.com.
The Lisbon
Hey, we're back at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. Here are some of your halftime stats. Looking at the Lisbon Broncos, getting the scoring column in that second quarter finally for the Broncos is Jaden Bittner picking up 2 points. Lincoln Adair with 8 leads all scorers in the game. Leading scorer for the Broncos and all scorers in the game is Lincoln Adair putting down 2 3-pointers, another jump shot that layup, fast break layup for Lincoln Adair for his 8 points. Wyatt Webb with 2 for the Broncos. Sam Kelson putting down 2 free throws for his 2 points. And then Ethan Gilbert picking up 2 points for the Broncos. Coming off the bench with the 3-pointers, Easton Bergerman in that first quarter, so he has 3 points in the game so far. All Lisbon Broncos starters right now are currently in the scoring column, so good balance scoring by the Broncos. Broncos going from the line currently at 2-2 with Sam Kelson picking up those 2 free throws in the first quarter of play. And only free throws of the game now for the Broncos. Gilbert for the Lisbon Broncos right now in a little bit of foul trouble. Picked up 3 personal fouls in the first quarter, along with Wyatt Webb with his 1 personal foul for 4 total for the Lisbon Broncos. And looking at the 0-1 LaMoure Lobos, LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. Is scoring in the game right now is Tate Mart with 2 points. And Max Muslin with a 3-pointer for his 3 points. And Colton Ness picking up, going 3 for 6 from the free throw line. Has 3 points in the game. Then coming off the bench for 2 points, sinking 2 of his free throws is Carl Gard for the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. Lobos right now going, it's like they're about 5 for 9. 5 for 9 from the free throw line for the LaMoure Lobos. As far as fouls go, LaMoure had 5 fouls in that first half of play. Right now, Anthony Hansen has 2, along with Colton Ness with 2 personal fouls, and then Max Muslin has 1 on the game for the LaMoure Lobos. So that's a look at some of your halftime stats here at this game. Class B, North Dakota Class B boys basketball game between the Lisbon Broncos and the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. We got about 5 minutes before the third quarter. We'll go ahead and transition away, take another timeout, pay some bills, and come back for your second half.
Students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
This is Thor Nelson, a Minot resident and National Hockey League official for 21 years. Why officiate? Some officiate to help kids learn and respect the game. They enjoy watching kids develop in their sport and as people, and they enjoy it because it's fun. You can be an official. Call your local high school or the North Dakota High School Activities Association at 701-845-3953. A message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association and this radio station.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Manage what you can to overcome what you cannot. Farming is all about preparing your operation to be successful when given an opportunity. Invest a few minutes and bring in your seed meters to be reconditioned and calibrated. We have some room, so give us a call and we can help you overcome those simple obstacles. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119, 636-2119, or planterdoc.com.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
Folks.
We're We're back here at the home of the Lisbon Broncos here in Lisbon, North Dakota. Lisbon Broncos currently lead the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos by a score of 19-10. Leading scorer in the game is Lincoln Adair from the Lisbon Broncos, picking up 8 points, 2 3-pointers, and also a layup in the first half of play. Broncos with balanced scoring throughout the game. All starters currently in the scoring column, and then coming off the bench is Easton Bergman for the Broncos with his 3-point basket in the first quarter. LaMoure Lobos led by number 5, Max Muslin, and also Colton Ness, each player with 3 points for the LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. Tate Mart with 2 points, and then Carl Gard coming off the bench with 2 points for LLM tonight. You're looking at some of the upcoming action for the Lisbon Broncos as far as the boys basketball team. They're off after a night until the 29th of December. We'll take on the Central Cass Squirrels. That is a home game. And then they'll play Sargent County on the 3rd of January. LaMoure Litchville-Marion, after tonight's game, they're off until the 27th of December. They play Bowman County and then come back on the 31st of December and play Central Cass. And then from the 3rd to 6th of January, they're at the Barnes County tournament. Lisbon right now was 1-1, 1-0 in the region after their victory last night against the Enderlin Eagles. High scorer last night was Jaden Bittner, putting down 29 points for the Lisbon Broncos. Had 5 3-pointers in the game. Right now, just held to 2 points. Bittner putting up the shots, just not finding the range tonight from either behind the three-point line or his jumper. So a little bit of cold shooting for Jaden Bittner tonight. The rest of the Broncos picking up the slack with Lincoln Adair putting down 2 3-pointers for the leading scorer of the game, and also for the Broncos with 8 points. Your Broncos wrestlers will be back in action on December 22nd. That's weather permitting, so we have another snowstorm coming in here starting tomorrow, and then maybe lingering on through Thursday and Friday with some high winds. So the Broncos have a triangular with Central Cass and Sisseton. That starts at 6 o'clock here at LHS Gymnasium, so that's on both the boys and the girls wrestling teams. That's at 6 o'clock here in Lisbon against Central Cass and Sisseton. And on the 22nd, the girls basketball team will travel down to Sisseton for a 6 o'clock game. So the girls basketball team down in South Dakota taking on Sisseton. That's on the 22nd of December. Then on December 23rd, Lisbon boys and girls teams are at the Valley City Holiday Tournament. That starts at 10:30 a.m. down at Valley City High School in their activity center. To both boys and girls team on Friday, December 23rd, weather permitting, down in Valley City for the holiday tournament. That tournament right now, as it stands, up to 20 teams on both the boys and the girls side, with some competition from North Dakota Class A and Class B schools all mixed in there. That'll be a Friday in Valley City. Like I said, Lisbon, as far as the boys and girls team, both in action on the 29th. The girls basketball is at Tri-State and Rossholt. That's at 2 o'clock on the 29th. And as I said before, boys basketball on the 29th at home with Central Cass. That's a 4:45 game. That's here in Lisbon. And then girls basketball versus Medina. That was a makeup game that rescheduled from last week during the snowstorm. That'll be played on February 2nd with the C squad starting at 4:30 in Medina. So getting ready for our second quarter or second half of play here. Broncos lead this one by a score of 19-10. That's inbound by the Lobo. That's over to Muslin. Muslin has Ness. A far cross-court pass to Ness. Just off the near side underneath the backboard. Gets away from him. That's a turnover by the Lobos. And Bittner hands it off to Kelson. Now back trying to find Adair over in the corner. Adair's been hot from that far side corner. Now gets it underneath the Webb. Webb going up against Hansen. Now Ness pulls down the rebound for the Lobos. Tate Mart brings it down. Cross-court pass over to Muslin. Muslin over to Hansen. Hansen's going to drive in, working up against Gilbert and Kelson. It rolls off the backboard and hits the rim. Gilbert comes down with the rebound for the Broncos. That pass mishandled by Adair. Adair thinking about his next step, took his eye off the ball, goes right through his hands and out of bounds. That's Muslin over to Mart. Now to Ness. Hansen capped out underneath the basket. That's Tate Mart from 3 off the backboard and good for Mart. So Tate Mart with 3 points, has 5 in the game. And closes the score 19-13. There's 6:29 to go in the third quarter. That's over to Adair. Adair gets it over to Bittner. They're looking for Webb. Webb kind of double teamed there. Bittner tried to sneak that pass through there. Broncos turn it over. It's over to Muslin. Muslin looking for Ness. The Broncos slamming. They're shutting down the inside play for the LaMoure Lobos. That goes into Ness. Ness going to work against Gilbert. Gilbert had 3 fouls. He's going to drive in. It looks like foul on Webb. So Ness drives in, picks up the foul on Webb. So Webb with 2 personals in the game. So Ness right now 3 of 6 from the line. His first shot rolls off, no good. Second shot, no good. Rebound by the Broncos. Kicks it out to Adair. Kelson needs a little bit of help. Adair steps out. Back to Kelson. Bittner in the corner. Thinks about it. Pulls it back down. Gets it into Gilbert. Tipped away by Muslin. Muslin knocks it away from Bittner, out of bounds. Broncos ball. Adair with the jumper. Off the backboard, no good. Rebound by the Lobos. And all LaMoure not able to find much success inside. That's Mart from 3. That's no good. That's down to a rebound by Gilbert. Good defense there by the Lobos. Just giving Bittner fits as Connor Johnson. That's over to Kelson from 3. That's long off the backside of the rim. That's saved by the Lobos. Be picked up by Adair. Adair gets it over to Kelson. We do have a little discussion on the court with the ref and the Lobos coach. That's stolen away. Bittner tried to sneak another pass in there. That's stolen by Hansen. Hansen goes up with it. He's going to travel. Bittner steps in front of Hansen. Hansen called for the travel. Ball goes out of bounds. Bittner coming in for the Broncos. Her brother Jaden goes on the bench. Jordan still in, comes back in. Bittner working against Johnson. Looks like Mart knocks it out of bounds, so Broncos retain possession. Low-scoring game here, 19-13 defensive battle between the Lobos and the Broncos. Broncos last night, halftime, had 21 points. And Bittner lit up the scoreboard for his 29 in the game. That's over to Kelson. Now back to Gilbert underneath. He's going to call for travel. Got a little push by Hansen underneath, and Gilbert takes a couple steps, gets called for the travel. That's to Hansen underneath, puts it up and in for that left-hander for Hansen. The Lobos finding success in the inside there for 2 points with Hansen. It's his first 2 points of the game. You have a substitution coming in and turnover by the Broncos. So it looks like Carl Guard and Isaacson both back in the game for the Lobos. 13 Isaacson, number 20 Carl Guard for LaMoure in the game. It's over to Ness. Ness going to work in, pushes it out to Muslin. Muslin's going to pull up for two. That's soft rebound. Webb came down with it, lost control. Back to the Lobos, over to Ness. Ness going to drive in, cross court over to It's over to Johnson. Now to Carlgard, that's off, no good. Rebound. Last touch by the Broncos underneath. LaMoure maintains possession. It's over to Isaacson. Isaacson trying to find Carlgard on the inside. Now Muslin gets it to Carlgard, back to Ness. It's knocked away by Kelson. Over to Johnson. That's up from three, that's no good. Muslin with the rebound. Lobos with another chance. Over to Johnson. Now Muslin puts it up again from three, that's no good. Batted down by Jordan Bittner. It's gonna be tied up. That's tied up by the Broncos underneath. The possession arrow goes to Lisbon. And Anthony Hansen back in the game, number 25 for the LaMoure Lobos. The full court press now is LaMoure. Lisbon Broncos trying to clear it, having a little bit of trouble. They're going to get called. Not able to clear that press in time, so the Broncos will turn it over. A 19-15 game. LaMoure slowly chipping away at that Bronco lead. It was 19-10 at halftime, now 19-15. Broncos still held scoreless in the third quarter. That's kicked out to Isaacson. Isaacson from three. That rolls out no good. A battle underneath for the ball. Back to Isaacson. He's got it. Now the Broncos losing the rebound battle underneath. Gilbert in a little bit of foul trouble. Has 3 personal fouls. That's over to Muslin. Now to Ness. Ness working against Gilbert. He loses it. Kelson called with the foul. So that's Kelson's first personal foul. Second team foul for the Lisbon Broncos. Webb has 2. Gilbert has 3 personals. That's the Muslin. Muslin looks up, pulls it back down. Now to Isaacson. Back to Muslin. Hansen goes to work on the inside, puts it up and in. Oh, bounces out. It rolls out. Now Bittner has Kelson. Kelson pulls it down, slows it down for the Broncos. Has Gilbert underneath. Gilbert's going to fake, puts it up. Oh, and hammered by Hansen underneath, so it'll be fouled. 2 shots for Gilbert. So that's his third personal foul for Hansen. First shot by Gilbert, it's up and no good. Gilbert has a little bit of range. Seen him shoot a couple of three-point attempts. Has a jump shot with a little bit of range on it, but he goes 0 for 2 at the line for the Broncos. Has 2 points currently in the game. A 19-15 score in the third quarter. A minute to go in the third quarter. That's swung out to Muslin. Over to Isaacson for the Lobos. Back to Johnson now. Over to Muslin. Dare just missed it. Over to Isaacson. Now working it inside. Has Johnson open on the near side. Gets it to Ness. Ness is going to find a little bit of room. Goes up against Gilbert. Puts it up over Gilbert. for 2 points. Now 19-17 score. The Broncos trying to clear the court. He called for over and back on the Broncos. Adair was across the line and then passed it over to Bittner. Bittner didn't get his feet down before he crossed the line. So Colton Ness with 5 points in the game, down to 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lisbon leads by a score of 19-17. Oh, that's to Hansen underneath. Hansen just camping out underneath. Easy basket for Hansen. Now 19-19. LaMoure will tie it up in the third quarter. Low scoring defensive battle here in the Lisbon Gymnasium. We'll go ahead and break away for a 30-second timeout.
Way to teach your kids about taxes is by eating 30% of their ice cream. And the best way to learn about your tax situation is contacting Olson Accounting. They'll answer any question you have from an individual or business point of view. Let Olson Accounting set up your tax plan and eliminate any problems by visiting colsoncpa.com or call 701-683-2700. Olson Accounting of Lisbon.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
We're back at the home of the Lisbon Broncos here at the LHS Gymnasium. We're all tied up in the fourth quarter. The Lobos chipping away at the Bronco lead from halftime. Broncos led 19-10. Lobos defensively shutting down the Broncos in the third quarter, holding the Broncos scoreless. Meanwhile, LaMoure Lobos scored 9 to tie it up here in the fourth quarter. All tied up at 19-19 on Bank North scoreboard. Looking for an exciting finish here in the Bronco gym once again. That's turnover by the Lobos. The Broncos having a little bit of trouble with this full court press. That's pushed out of bounds. Last touch by the Lobos. And Ness went diving for it. Webb lets it go, and that's out on the Lobos. And inbounds, good defense by Johnson. Johnson anticipates that pass over to Adair, gets it knocked down, goes over to Muslin. Out to Isaacson, thinks about it, back to Muslin. Out over to Isaacson from three, that's off, no good. Rebound by the Broncos, that's hit away. So tapped away by Ness underneath. Broncos out of Region 1, LaMoure Lobos out of Region 3. Lobos right now 0-1, Broncos 1-1 on the season. They're all tied up at 19 in the fourth quarter. The Broncos working through the press by the Lobos. Bittner has a lane wide open. It outside, rolls up and in for a layup for two for Bittner. His first 2 points of the half. He now has 4 in the game. First points of the half for the Broncos. Over to Johnson. Johnson over to Ness. Ness has Hansen. Hansen camped out underneath. Now back over to Muslin. Swings it out to Johnson. All starters back in for the LaMoure Lobos to close out this fourth quarter. The spin move by Ness. That rolls off and in. Hansen up, puts it in. Hansen with the rebound. He has 4 points. Held scoreless in the first half. Has 4 points in the second half. They're all tied up at 21. It's 6:19 to go in the fourth quarter. That's to Kelson. Nice feed from Webb into Kelson. Or excuse me, into Gilbert. Just a little bit too hard off the paint. Rolls out. Lobos push it fast down court. Now over to Mart. Mart over to Muslin. He's going to be called. They got offensive foul on 25. So it's his 4th personal foul for Hansen. Only the 2nd team foul of the half. Both of those fouls in the half are on Hansen. That's over to Gilbert. That's stolen away by Ness. Ness lies it up and in. That's 2 for Ness. Ness has 4 points in the half. That's 7 in the game. Still leading all scorers in the game is Lincoln Adair. Had 8 points in that first half of play. That's stolen again by the Lobos. The Lobos made some adjustments to their defense at half and just working the full court press on the Broncos, shutting them down offensively. That shot put up no good. Rebound by Ness. It's to Adair, puts it up for Muslin. That's a rebound by Gilbert. We got a foul underneath by Hansen. No, that was on Mart. So Tate Mart called with a foul. That's his first personal. Mart with 5 points in the game. 2 in the first half, 3 in the second half of play. The Broncos looking to clear it out, having some problems with that full court press. Now Bittner's able to clear it out, gets it to Webb. Webb puts it on the ground. Kicks it back out to Kelson. Kelson over to Adair. Nope, thinks about it. Now back to Bittner. Pass underneath, tipped out by Ness. He's pushed out. So called with the foul is Colgard. This is the 3rd team foul in the half. At 4:35 to go in the 4th quarter. We got a timeout here in the Lisbon Gymnasium. We'll go ahead and step away for another 30-second timeout. Bank North scoreboard. LaMoure Lobos pull ahead by a score 23-21.
Everyday items for plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Check out their latest selection of snow and grain shovels alongside Milwaukee tools. Plus, stop by LaMoure Hardware today and browse their sweet pickin' section. You'll see brand new furniture and decor. LaMoure Hardware is your community one-stop shop. For more information on all the services LaMoure Hardware offers, go online to LaMoureHardware.com. That's LaMoureHardware.com.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
Hey, back here in Lisbon, North Dakota, home of the Lisbon Broncos. The Broncos falling behind by 2. LaMoure going up 23-21 here in the 4th quarter. The Broncos had a 19-10 lead at halftime. Held scoreless in the 3rd quarter. That's 3 for Adair. That stop, no good. Adair gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Kelson. Kelson over to Bittner. Bittner gets it to Webb. That's to Gilbert. Gilbert finding a little room, bumps it, puts it up, and it rolls out. Looks like it was going in and rolls out for Gilbert. Just didn't have the touch on it. Rebound by the Lobos. Isaacson still in there along with Cargard for the Lobos. That's put up from 3 points. That's good. That's good for Isaacson for 3, his first 3 points of the game. That puts Lobos up 26-21. Broncos letting this game slip away. But Adair blocked by Ness. So Ness blocks that shot by Adair. Coming back in the game is Hampton. He has 4 personals in the game. 3:44 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Broncos still with only 2 points. It'll be a foul on Mart. Broncos only with 2 points in the second half of play. It's a second personal on Mart. 5 team fouls for LaMoure Lobos. Bittner with the ball for the Broncos. Looking for Kelson, now swings it to Webb, now to Gilbert underneath. Gilbert puts it up, bounces off in the hand for Gilbert for 2. Gilbert's had a couple of those shots roll out underneath the basket. Gets this one to fall for Ethan Gilbert. He has 4 in the game. 0 for 2 from the free throw line is Gilbert. That's over to Muslin. That's tipped by Adair. Gets it over to Isaacson. That's thrown away, out of bounds. That'll be turned over. Ooh. That was last touched by the Lobos, but we got a reversal on the call there, so it goes Broncos ball. We got a timeout by the Lisbon Broncos. With that timeout, we'll go and step away for another 30-second timeout.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
The friendly staff at LaMoure Drugstore reminds you to stop by and find gifts for your loved ones during this holiday season, from giftware for men or women, and check out their toy selection for the kids. LaMoure Drugstore delivers any day of the week upon request and will answer any general health questions you have, from school supplies, greeting cards, prescription requests, and a reminder you can get the flu shot as well at LaMoure Drugstore, located in the center of LaMoure in the Bank North Mall. For more information, go to LaMoureDrugstore.com.
My name is.
We're back here at the home of Lisbon Broncos. Broncos ball led this game at half by score 19-10. LaMoure Lobos coming back, currently lead it by score 26-23. The name of the game in the second half has been defense by the Lobos, shutting down the Broncos. Another turnover by the Broncos here in the fourth quarter. LaMoure sitting with 5 team fouls in the second half of play. Hansen in the game. He has 4 personal fouls for the Lobos. The Lobos moving the ball around down to Muslin from 3. That's in and good for Muslin. A 3-pointer for Muslin. It's his second 3-pointer of the game. First points of the half. Now Bittner bringing it down. He's going to go all the way coast to coast. Feeds it to Gilbert. Gilbert puts it up. It's a block by Hansen. Out of bounds. For a second, Bittner was going to take that all the way. Feeds it to Gilbert. Gilbert puts it up, then blocked out of bounds by Hansen. A turnover by the Broncos. 29-23, 2:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Ball broken up by Adair, but covered by Ness. Ness kicks it out to Muslin. Muslin from 3 again. That's his spot. He puts it in again for 3 for Ness. Ness getting hot now. Down the left side of the court behind the 3-point line. Now gets it to Adair. Lobos extending their lead now. 32-23, up by 9. That was the Broncos lead, led by 9 at the half. 1:43 to go in the fourth quarter. The Broncos making some defensive adjustment at the halftime, holding Lisbon scoreless in the third quarter. Broncos only able to put up 4 points in the second half. Got a foul underneath. Be a third team foul on the Broncos. So it looks like it on Kelson. So Kelson called it his second personal foul. So we're going to step away with this team timeout. LaMoure Lobos lead this one by a score of 32-23.
And I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
Back here in Lisbon, North Dakota, home of the Lisbon Broncos. The Broncos down in this one now by 9 points, 23-32 to LaMoure Lobos. Broncos one time led at half by score 19-10. A minute 30 to go in the fourth quarter. Moore's defense tonight has stifled the Broncos offense here in the second half of play. A minute 25 to go now. That's over to Muslin. Muslin gets it to Ness. LaMoure just going to wear down the clock. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Now Hansen takes it, going to drive in, goes up against Webb. Going to be called for the wall. Called a foul was Wyatt Webb. It'll be his third. Oh, so it was called on Hansen, so it'll be a charge on Hansen. So that's his fifth personal, so Hansen out of the game for the Lobos. A minute 7 to go. Bittner's going to drive it down behind the back. He steps behind the three-point line. Now over to Kelson. Three from Kelson. That's off, no good. Under a minute to go now. LaMoure just looking to take time off the clock. Broncos have to follow if they want to try to get a couple possessions here before time runs out. Down to 40, 23-32. That's over to Muslin. We're going to call for a foul underneath. So Bittner called with his first foul of the game for Bittner. Right now, LaMoure has 16 fouls in the second half, down to 30 seconds here in the fourth quarter. LaMoure's up by a score of 32-23. Got a foul there underneath. And a triple team by the Broncos over there at the far side of the court. So that goes against Sam Kelson. This will be his third personal. A 15 foul for the Broncos. Broncos just able to get 4 points on the board here in the second half. LaMoure scoring 23. Broncos led at halftime 19-10. Down to 22 seconds left in the game. That's over to Muslin. Muslin's going to is knocked out of bounds by Bittner. That's inbound over to Muslin. And Muslin's going to take it in, lays it up, and two for Muslin. Last 10 seconds of the game, Muslin puts two up. He has 11 in the game for Muslin right now. He's a leading scorer in the game. That time runs out. The LaMoure Lobos is going to win this game tonight by a score of 34-23. The name of the game for the LaMoure Lobos in the second half is their defense, just coming out smothering the Lisbon Broncos, holding them to 4 points in the second half of play. We'll go ahead and step away for another minute timeout, come back, talk about some of our game stats, and then our Enbridge Energy player of the game, RD Enterprise Precision players of the game.
The college has better equipment than the shop I'm at now. Like, you name it, they got it. You get to use your tools in your hands a lot more. My name is Sean, and I'm here for my future.
First week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like, every time I go to a meeting, like, everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
Riverside Building Center in Lisbon, North Dakota is Southeastern North Dakota's premier building supply headquarters. They have it all from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell and have over 110 combined years of experience. With their large inventory to sell from and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Gwinner, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters is a group of parents, coaches, and community members whose mission is to enrich the Lisbon High School athletic community by providing financial support for Lisbon High School athletic programs and events. If you are interested in getting involved, they invite you to join the Bronco Athletic Booster Group on Facebook to learn more. The Lisbon Athletic Boosters send a good luck wish to all athletes competing today.
Folks, it's tax season, and the best way to teach your kids about taxes is by eating 30% of their ice cream. And the best way to learn about your tax situation is contacting Olson Accounting. They'll answer any question you have from an individual or business point of view. Let Olson Accounting set up your tax plan and eliminate any problems by visiting colsoncpa.com or call 701-683-2700. Olson Accounting of Lisbon.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Hey, back here with YourLiveEvent.com. We're at the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. They talk about our final game stats. Lisbon goes down and loses this one by a score of 34-23. Looking at the Broncos on the offensive side, Lisbon only held to 4 points in that second half of play, putting up 19 in the first half, then held to 4 points for their 23 points in the game. Offensively, Broncos were led by number 8, Lincoln Adair. Adair picked up 8 points in the first half, 2 3-pointers, and then a layup for his 8 points in the game, held scoreless in the second half. Jaden Bittner with 4 points in the game, had 2 points in the first half, another 2 in the second half. Coming off that hot game last night against the Enderlin Eagles where he put up 29, held just to 4 points tonight by the LaMoure Lobos. And Wyatt Webb with 2 points in the game, along with Sam Kelson. Kelson going 2 for 2 from the free throw line for his 2 points. And then Ethan Gilbert with 4 points in the game, going 0-2 from the line for the Lisbon Broncos. Broncos overall were 4 of 2 from the free throw line in the game. Also in the scoring column, Easton Bergen came in that first quarter and hit a 3-pointer for the Broncos for his 3 points in the game. So positive side, balanced scoring for the Lisbon Broncos. Going 2 for 4 from the free throw line, shooting 50% from that free throw line. Not a lot of free throws in this game on either side of the ball. The LaMoure Lobos, they're led by number 5. They're led by Muslin, number 5, Muslin. Muslin had 3 3-pointers in the game, total of 11 points. So Muslin coming in clutch for the LaMoure Lobos in that second half of play, picking up 8 points in the second half of play for the LaMoure Lobos, had 3 in the first half of play. Then Tate Mart with 5 points, 2 in the first half, 3 in the second half. A starter, Connor Johnson, held scoreless throughout the game. Colton Ness with 7 points in the game, also going 3 of 8 from the free throw line for Colton Ness. And then Anthony Hansen putting in 4 points for the LaMoure Lobos. Coming off the bench is Isaacson, number 13 Isaacson, with the 3-pointers in that second half of play. And then Carl Gard for LaMoure Lobos going 2 for 2 from the 3-point line, putting in 2 points. in the game for the LaMoure Lobos, LaMoure Litchville-Marion Lobos. And neither team really getting into foul trouble. We had Ethan Gilbert with 3 personal fouls in that first half of play, and then Anthony Hansen at the end of the game ends up fouling out for LaMoure Lobos, but neither team getting into those bonus fouls as far as shooting free throws, so not really a factor in the game. I guess the factor was that not a lot of free throws on either side. The Lobos overall were 5 of 10, so they also shooting 50%. They're 5 of 10 from the free throw line. And the Broncos held that 19-10 halftime lead. Then the Lobos made their adjustments at halftime, kept the Broncos scoreless in the third quarter. 4 points total in that second half. So looking at our Enbridge Energy player of the game, that will go to Colton Ness, or excuse me, to Muslin from LaMoure Litchville-Marion. So Max Muslin picks up your Enbridge Energy player of the game, picking up those 3-pointers. 2 3-pointers in the second half, another one in the first half. 8 total in that second half of play, spurring that rally by LaMoure Litchville-Marion and helping them increase their lead for the victory night, 34 to 23. Then our RDK Enterprises precision players of the game, we're going to give that to LaMoure Litchville-Marion defense. Their defense in the second half of play, along with their coaches, made those adjustments in the second half, held Lisbon scoreless in that third quarter of play. 4 points total in the second half of play. That was the key to their victory. With just that full court press, Broncos having a tough time dealing with that in that second half, not finding an answer for it. Held to just 4 points. So that RDK Enterprises precision player of the game goes to the LaMoure Lobo defense on the defensive side of the ball. A good job by the LaMoure Lobos. The Broncos dropped this one by a score of 34 to 23. We'll be back here in the Lisbon High School Gymnasium on yourliveevent.com on Thursday with that triangular between Central Cass and Sisseton, both boys and girls wrestling duels that night, starting at 6 o'clock. And then the girls team, girls basketball team travels down to Sisseton on Thursday, December 22nd. That's at 6 o'clock also down in Sisseton, South Dakota. So we'll see you back here, weather permitting, on Thursday, starting around 5:45 for some wrestling action here in the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick, and at yourliveevent.com. We'll go ahead and see you this Thursday for some wrestling between Lisbon, Central Cass, and the Sisseton Redmond. So signing off from the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, everybody have a safe travels, and we'll see you on Thursday.